CP, a point guard, and I feel like it's criminally underrated when we start talking about top point guards to ever touch the hardwood. And yeah, now he's still playing to get a ring. But what you couldn't tell me is he didn't leave it all out there when he was in the playoffs or taking every game as serious as he did in the regular season. And then you just got casual fans just forgetting who CP was or what he was doing in his prime and in his young age. Like he really wasn't the best point guard in the league and carrying that shit for a long time. Which brings us right into his game 3 in the second round versus the defending champ San Antonio Spurs and a finals MVP in Tony Parker. And let's get right into it. Look how CP's instantly in attack mode with a nice in and out with the screen up top. Alright, I'm right to my spot with a nice mid-range. But what you love is it's a point guard battle and niggas is not running from the fade. Look how CP's already knowing he gotta guard TP. Look how TP gets the screen up top on the right. Boom, he gets into the paint. CP fouls. That's what you love to see. It's played down. Look how CP gets the ball up top and gets the screen up left. TP goes over it. Look at the twitchy hesitation. Get to his spot, then rise over the top for the nice mid-range. Yeah, this is the first quarter, but this series was chippy and this game was chippy. It's the playoffs. It's playoff basketball. It's not easy. We got schemes and sets for each team. But look here where they get the good double team up top on Ginobili. They get a poke at the ball. My boy David West gets the ball on the break. He knows who to give it to. CP Strelling, nice layup and a tough Euro step at that. Next possession down. Look at CP bringing the ball up the court. Again and instantly in attack mode. Look how he uses that screen to perfection. As soon as he finds the gap into the defense, he does a nice chicken wing and shoulder bump on Tony Parker and making a tough physical finish. What you love is TP already knowing CP's on the ground and the defense is off balance and not set, which gives us a nice bucket, a tough bucket at that over 7-footers. Next possession down for this Hornets team. Look at the set they run to get David West the ball up top. Soon as he gets the ball up top, he gives it to CP. CP doesn't play with his foot, instantly gets into that left-handed dribble with that screen, knock down the mid-range. But what you love is I gotta guard this Killa on the other end. Look at him. Soon as TP throws the ball out, look at him running to get anywhere he can from screens to all screens. And CP just chasing him. But that's TP, a Hall of Famer. Few possessions down, look at CP operate on the offensive end. He gets that screen from David West. Why are you going under? You know better. Nice mid-range and a foul, but they don't call it. Next possession down after an offensive rebound. Look how CP is about to direct traffic, direct the offense. Look how he gets the ball up in the wing up top with Tony Parker guarding him one-on-one. Look how he uses the screen to perfection. As soon as Tyson Chandler sets that screen up right, he gets in the middle of the defense. Boom, he gets right into that cushion and throws an amazing lob to Tyson and finish. What you gotta love about CP is he's just the ultimate point guard and just doing anything to win. The competitive nature you love. Look here where Tim Duncan makes the free throw. Alright, I'm about to be an asshole. Let's get the guys up right in front of Tim Duncan in his free throw stance and positioning. Act like we talking about something. Just little things to fuck the game up and letting your opponent know this ain't gonna be no comfortable games. And look, a missed free throw by Tim Duncan. But look at CP bringing the ball up the court and getting the offense set again. Look how he gets that first screen. Boom, it gets rejected, but he gets the next screen from Tyson Chandler. Bruce Bowen uses body and physicality. We know this already going in the game. And I'm not about to make a bucket more tougher than it has to be in the first half. Look how CP uses that screen with a nice hop step. Get a nice little layup. Simple. And what you love about CP and what makes him one of the GOATs is his probing was amazing. He knew how to exploit your fuck-ups on defense. Look how he gets in front of Alberto. Clearly going to be late. Closing out on David West midi. Knockdown. And like I said in the beginning of the video, this is playoff basketball, and the physicality was going to be felt. Look at CP got the ball up top. He uses the screen. You see Roberto's trying to get over there. Nah, you getting this chicken wing in the shoulder. And a nice pass to David West. What you love about this Spurs team is they was never down. Yes, the Hornets had runs and CP was snapping, but the Spurs knew how to stay poised and collected out there. Just two teams that played completely opposite, but it looked like poetry on the floor for both teams. You had CP and David West, that two-man game with the pick and roll, pick and pops, anything that you can get those open, easy looks for David West or CP was amazing. And then you had TP, an aggressive attacking guard that was going to find Tim Duncan on short rolls and just off his initial movement. Look here, it's not a pass from TP, but look at the aggressiveness, and he hits TP with a nice fast crossover, and he gets to the lane. He doesn't even get the call, but it's a tough take. Got the complete opposite of CP getting the rock off the miss. Look at Bruce Bowen on his hip. Yes, he does a great job of selling the call and getting to the line while TP is still begging for that call. And I can't stress this enough. This was high IQ basketball from these 2 point guards. You couldn't just fall on the ground and did not get back. They were guarding each other, and you know the bigs were a little too slow-footed to stay in front of these guards. Again, I know this is a CP video, but I gotta give praise and love when I see it, and I'm not a hater. TP was definitely going to work to this game. I mean, look here where he gets the ball in the corner, he instantly attacks and using that low, fast crossover, gets to his spot in the floater. Like I said, you gotta get back. CP will kill you with that. Look at him, he finds Peja Stojakovic. Boom, knocked down 3. The defense is all fucked up. TP didn't get back. Supreme IQ and court vision from CP on this play. Look how he bring the ball up court. He's getting everybody settled. And look at Mo Pete in the corner. Look how CP sees him and he gets right back into that corner. A delivery that only a few point guards could do. Knockdown. Then we got the last 10 seconds that just define Spurs basketball. Look at TP draw the defense in. Kick out to the corner for Bruce Bowen, knockdown. But then again, you got a sneaky Manu trying to get the steal. Boom, added with some pressure that the Spurs give to force a turnover and over a bad call, which leads us to a great ATO from Pop and a knockdown in the corner with a leading shot from Manu to cut the lead down to 2 to end this first half. Bringing us right into the second half. Look at Manu get a bucket. Dilly, CP ready to put them track shoes on. Look at him getting to the teeth of the defense. And just him probing and him keeping his dribble alive. Just finding an open man and Tyson Chandler for an easy bang out. And then what you love about CP was actually a two-way player. Yeah, I just made a great pass and got us a nice play on the offensive end, but that don't stop me from competing on the defensive end. Look how he got his hands up and already playing physical basketball with Tony Parker and forcing to travel. We love that shit. Another great sequence here from both teams. Look how CP gets in the defense but causes the turnover. Look how TP's already on the break. He gets into the defense and gets a nice layup. But look here, we gotta get this offense going. We gotta get this pushing, as well as shutting this crowd up and bringing this team light. Yeah, they won a championship last year, but they was down 2-0 in this series. But look here where CP gets the ball, uses that screen, and look at the probe and hesitation to beat Roberto and get it to side, and only leaving TP to foul. And of course, CP gonna knock down both of these free throws. And we forget, CP was only 22. Look at him, controlling the offense, getting into the defense, and finishing over Tim Duncan. Then you got here, look at him find David West, but it's also a chicken wing and an elbow. It's like, I'm not a veteran, I'm not an old player, but I'm letting you know that I might be young, but I'm not scared of this shit. Like, I'm ready for all this. And look, he gets a chicken wing and a push right back from Roberto. And what you love is this conversation after the play. Ain't nothing sweet from both teams. Got a great sequence here just showing CP was really ahead of his time. Look at him here using the screen and abusing it, knowing that TP's not really that good on defense, especially on ball defense and getting over. CP gets to his spot and gets a nice midi, and it was over another contestant, Bruce Bowen, from behind. And I can't stress this enough. Yes, I got a bucket, but still I got to get it in on the defensive end. The Spurs is not trying to play with their food. Manu gets the ball on the post and instantly rises over top. A great contest from CP. And what you love is CP was 22, but on the offensive end, he wasn't going to let you off the hook. He was going to play cat and mouse with you, and he was going to make you work on the defensive end. Look here where he resets and got the ball up top. He loves putting TP in these screen and roll sets. Boom, you get Tim Duncan helping too hard. Nice lob to Tyson, a spoon-fed lob. Next possession down for this Hornets team late in the third quarter. Look how Chris Paul uses the screen Tice. As soon as he gets off it, he gets a nice jump shot. He misses. Look how everything gets set up for the Spurs and Tony Parker looking ahead. Look how he's bringing the ball up court, and he's instantly in attack mode. Look how he uses that nice crossover, switches it with the left hand, giving the Spurs fans something to see. But this shit was like a mano y mano. Like Carlito forgetting Benny Blanco. Look how CP uses that screen. He cuts through and he attacks TP and makes a crazy ass layup, almost giving us that 91 Jordan against the Lakers type situation. And just shutting the crowd up. CP was going off in a hostile environment. And mind you, he was 22. Next offensive possession down. Look at CP just abusing that screen and roll or screen and pop. Gets wide open for the midi again. Knockdown. And by the end of this third quarter, we were watching a young master at work and honestly just sharpening his tools and just getting to his spots with ease. Look here, first play into the fourth quarter. Oh, you're going under that screen again? Knockdown. This shit is getting ridiculous. And what you love is just the poise from the Spurs. Yes, the Hornets were still in this game, and they were only down about 5 points, and Chris Paul was doing his thing. But the Spurs just stayed calm, cool, and collected. Showed that championship DNA and went on a nice run themselves, pushing the lead up to at least 13 in this fourth quarter. Look where TP gets that off screen and catch CP sleeping, knocked down in the mid-range, too late on the closeout. But look at CP just trying to get a bucket and trying to kill the fans and just pretty much get some points on the board, and he forces up a tough layup. But that doesn't stop the Spurs from still getting to work and knowing what they gotta do. Look at Ginobili bring the ball up the court, instantly gets the ball to Bruce Bowen and entry pass to Tim Duncan. Now look at this just definition of Spurs basketball. Pass to the corner, Bruce Bowen knockdown. And yeah, this shot pushed the lead to 13. But the thing was, this little motherfucker was still fighting and trying to get this win still, and you could not say you didn't see it. Look here where CP gets the ball off a fast break, gets inside. Crazy pass to David West, missed, but he's fouled. Next possession down on the miss, and they're pretty much running hurry up offense, similar to like a football style. Look at CP taking matters in his own hand. Nice Euro step, fake out Tim Duncan, layup. Next possession down, look how he splits through the middle. He uses that screen up top, doesn't play with his foot, gets right into the middle of the defense with a nice law and Euro step, and finish over the trees to cut the lead down to 10. But the thing about TP was, he lived for these moments as well. And you love CP just taking on the matchup and guarding this man the whole game. Look at him. Tony Parker long, CP to sleep. He gets right to his spot with a nice hesitation to a step back, knockdown. That's all she wrote. And after this game, you knew the Spurs was going to be in a long dog fight. And this 22-year-old was going to give you all he got.